we will continue talking about Amitabha Buddha's immutable or undefeatable resolves, that are totally unshakable. Okay, so number 23 says, provided I am a Buddha, if those bodhisattvas in my pure land, through the blessings of the Buddha, should not be able to serve all the Buddhas throughout the countless Nayuta of Buddha lands within a moment as short as the length of time of refreshment, then may I not attain awakening. Now, I don't know how long a moment of refreshment is. This is one of the things where I would like a better translation, because I have a feeling that, it hasn't been translated properly. So, we need a new translation. So here it's talking about how the bodhisattvas in Sukhavati serve all the Buddhas through the countless innumerable Buddha lands, and how they're able to do this in very, very short periods of time. So this comes because of the powers that they've attained through their concentration and very deep samadhi, and then that enables them to manifest many bodies throughout the universe and to go to other lands and serve the Buddhas there. Now, when we hear about serving the Buddhas, what does that mean? So when I think about it, and this is my idea, of course it includes, from this point of view, bowing and making offerings and things like that. But I think the best way to serve the Buddhas is to be kind to sentient beings. Because why did Buddhas become Buddhas? It's so that they could be of the greatest benefit to sentient beings. That was the reason they put forth so much effort. So if we serve sentient beings, then we're reinforcing the Buddha's motivation for all the hard work they did. Okay? Then 24, provided I become a Buddha, if those bodhisattvas in my pure land who wish their collection of merit to produce any items to be used before the Buddhas, should such things not appear for them to their satisfaction, then may I not attain awakening. Okay, so if the bodhisattvas in Sukhavati want their collection of merit to be used to produce whatever Buddhas in different Buddha lands need or desire, so if they're not able to use their collection of merit to make these items appear before these Buddhas, and should the items appearing as offerings before these Buddhas not be to the satisfaction of these bodhisattvas, then Amitabha the Buddha is saying, may I not become awakened. Okay? So it's really saying that the bodhisattvas in Sukhavati have this ability to manifest not only themselves in many pure lands, but to make beautiful offerings that are manifestations of their collection of merit. And of course, by making those kinds of offerings, they accumulate more merit. Okay? So we're getting a peek at what goes on in Sukhavati, Okay, you had your morning meditation. Let's get busy. So you go serve the Buddhas, and you manifest for sentient beings, and you go teach those hearers and solitary realizers about bodhicitta, and so they have their morning stand-up meeting. And everybody goes out and does what they need to do. Okay, 25. Provided I become a Buddha, if those bodhisattvas in my pure land should not be able to preach the law of wisdom in completion, then may I not attain awakening. So here it's saying that those bodhisattvas in his pure land, of course, will be able to teach all the ins and outs of wisdom completely, completely, so that everybody born in Sukhavati can generate that wisdom and practice it, practice those teachings and attain that kind of wisdom. So of course this is quite important because it's wisdom that actually frees our mind from samsara and completely counteracts the afflictions. Compassion, bodhicitta are wonderful, and they can be temporary antidotes to afflictions, but the only thing that cuts the afflictions from the root is the wisdom that realizes emptiness. So it's very, very important that we generate that. And to have that wisdom, then we need to study. It's not that you just sit down and close your eyes and think wisdom, wisdom, and then whammo, you have realizations. We need to create the causes, so we need to learn the teachings, think about them, debate them, discuss them, make sure we have the correct view. Gaining the correct view isn't so easy, but to make sure we got the correct view, then to go and really meditate and integrate these teachings in our being through direct realization of emptiness. So it's important to understand correctly the process of generating wisdom. That realizing the ultimate truth isn't just sitting down and making the mind blank. It's not just, accumulating a lot of merit. It's not just, waiting for wisdom to dawn spontaneously. There's a whole process of creating the causes for it. So we have to do that process. Then 26, provided I become a Buddha, those bodhisattvas in my Pure Land should not all be in possession. We're going to reword this. Not all of the bodhisattvas in my Pure Land have a golden body as strong as the diamond of Narayana, then may I not attain awakening. So here Amitabha's, promising that all those bodhisattvas should have a golden body that's as strong as the diamond of Narayana. Narayana is some kind of Hindu god, okay? And so it's saying that those bodhisattvas, due to their merit, due to their virtue, will have a golden body. And again, with the 32 marks, 32 signs that we talked about before, that was a previous one of his unshakable resolves. And so this kind of unshakable resolve is very inspiring for people who really resonate with the Buddha's body. And I think different people have different resonations with, resonate differently with different aspects of a Buddha. Some more with the Buddha's body and its abilities and its beauty. Others more with the Buddha's speech and its, how it teaches the Dharma. Others with the Buddha's mind and its amazing realizations. So, of course, we want to respect the body, speech, and mind of all the Buddhas together, but different things may inspire us at different points along the path. Okay, 27. Provided I become a Buddha, the heavenly beings and the various properties produced in my Pure Land should all be of supreme beauty and in boundless quantity, and in the infinity of various forms. If any being therein who even possess the divine eye is able to perceive the appellations and quantity of such beauties, it should be unable to perceive the appellations and quantities of such beauties, then may I not attain awakening. Okay, so it's saying that the heavenly beings and their various aspects and qualities and so on that exist in the Pure Land, then these will all be of supreme beauty and boundless quantity and infinite variety of forms. So it says the heavenly beings, but I would again like to check the translation and see, is it is it referring to Buddhist deities? Is it referring to bodhisattvas? Is it referring to gods? What exactly, does this term refer to? But in any case, it's really, saying that Sukhavati is going to have whatever anybody needs, and bountiful qualities and things will all be of great beauty. Yeah, so if they have a, what's our heating system called? Geothermal system, it's not going to break in the middle of winter. Okay, if they have forests, there aren't going to be any ticks. If if they live near a city, it's not going to be building a silicon smelter. So everything in the Pure Land is going to be quite beautiful, quite encouraging for practice and for life. Okay, so so those are 4 more of the unshakable resolves, and we'll continue on that. And I wanted to ask people today, please to make prayers for all the Palestinians and all the Israelis, because they're opening the U.S. Embassy in Jerusalem, which is so stupid and so provocative. And the Palestinians, of course, are demonstrating. They have been for several days. They estimate, I've heard 37 to 80 people have been killed, thousands have been wounded, and all just, because Trump wants to set up the U.S. Embassy in Jerusalem. It's been in Tel Aviv for years, it's been fine, but he's pleasing his base by doing this. The evangelical Christians have some belief that only when, I don't understand it completely, but something with the Jews has to happen in Jerusalem before Jesus comes again, and so he's pleasing them. And it's ruining many people's lives and creating such havoc for no beneficial purpose. Yeah, and Netanyahu, said, that by recognizing history, Trump is making history, and that Jerusalem is the undivided capital of Israel. And that is just so explosive, because the Palestinians who have held on to East Jerusalem, even though it's occupied by the Israelis, they would like Eastern Jerusalem to be their capital. And by saying it's the, undisputed capital of all of Israel, it's doing that. And it's completely negating the trustworthiness of the U.S. in its international deals. Yeah, the Europeans all oppose this kind of thing, and past presidents have always signed a waiver delaying it to happen. And, so how is the U.S. going to be regarded as an impartial mediator between the Israelis and the Palestinians when they've done something like this? It's completely thrown out their trustworthiness in the eyes of the Palestinians. So there's some of the young Jews in Washington, D.C. protesting this, and it's really caused a rift in the American Jewish community, because Jews tend to be quite liberal politically, and when they see this kind of suffering, especially the suffering that the Jewish people underwent in the Holocaust, when they see Israel creating this kind of suffering for the Palestinians, it pushes so many buttons. So, yeah. So if we could make prayers for there to be peace there, for people not to kill each other, not to deliberately inflame each other, um, you know. And if Amitabha Buddha can help in that aspect, that would be quite wonderful. And of course, it's totally crazy for them to face the Israeli army and try and get across the fence. It's nuts. And even if they get across the fence, what are they going to do? Yeah. But this shows the desperation of people who have no other way to express their unsatisfaction and work for some kind of helpful resolution so that they can live, protected and safe lives. They're totally desperate, and then what's the use of antagonizing people like that? Yeah, more beneficial to help them. Yeah. So I went to Gaza. I've gone to Gaza twice when I was in Israel. And one time, when we were waiting, we to cross the border, we were in the same room where Clinton and Arafat met, And then we went to, both times we went to one Palestinian organization that was really working for cross-border cooperation and communication. And it was really wonderful to meet those people. They were so kind. And I wonder what's happened to them now. And on the second visit when we were there, they took us to the Gaza airport. In those days, Gaza had an airport. It was a new airport. Israel has subsequently shut it down, and there's a whole embargo on getting goods into Gaza. But when they took us there, they were so proud of their airport. It was just amazing to see them feel like, look what we can do, look what we can have. And it was indeed a very beautiful airport. Yeah, they had mosaics and things all around the walls. And that was a very hopeful time when I was there. And now, quite difficult. Difficult for us to directly do anything, but we can do the taking and giving meditation, and we can make prayers, and we can vote. Yeah.